Hello, everybody. We're going to be going live in about. Be going live in 3 minutes. Hang tight. And we will see you all in just video. Hello, everybody. I'm going to wait for some people to join in as we're just getting started on Sunday, 5 p.m. I'm sure everybody's doing a lot of different things and has other shit going on. So I'm going to wait for some people to join. We'll give a few minutes. And then we will get started with our show, In Daniel We Trust. Hope you're all doing really, really well on this lovely Sunday. I like Sunday shows. Anyone who's on, please do say hello. Hello. That was like on demand. Narashima, Murthy. Narashima Murthy. It's an interesting name. Hello, everybody. Okay, cool. People joining. I like this. All right. One thing off. Hold, please. Something that's loud. All right, everybody. Here we go. So, thank you so much for joining on a Sunday. I like Sunday shows. They're relaxing, and I'm not in the office or at an event or in the studio doing 10 other things. So I don't have to focus on 10 other things. So here I can just focus on In Daniel We Trust, which is kind of like therapy. People ask me, when people find out that I'm doing the show, they first are surprised, and second, they're like, why do you do this show? Because I don't actually have so much spare time in my life. I do it because it's like a therapy. I just enjoy it. And like I said the previous week, first I said, wow, this is interesting. I'm doing a show and, a few thousand people watched afterwards, not live, after it was going on. And then the week after I did another one and there was, 3,000-4,000 and then 2,000-3,000 and sort of that's what's happening. So I find that really cool and I appreciate everyone that is rewatching them. If you don't know, the shows are live on X right now, which is Daniel Weber 99. It is live on Facebook at Daniel Weber Official. It is then we post it on YouTube on the In Daniel We Trust channel. It's on Kick live right now. For anybody that is watching on Kick, it is the Daniel Weber. And then afterwards, you can listen to them on Amazon and Spotify and iHeartRadio and tons of other places. And you can just search for Daniel Weber or In Daniel We Trust, and you can listen back, whether you like to listen to podcasts or whether you like to listen to whatever. So you can listen back. Now, this is not a podcast because I am doing it live. So it's a little different. It is just a news type oriented show. And it is not edited at all. And so what you see is what you get, and what you hear is what you also get, and that's it. That's the whole shebang. So I'm going to kick right off today. I usually do about 30 minutes of news. It is opinionated news. It is my opinion. It is nothing else. The topics today that we are covering are the obsession with pickleball, the Asia Cup drama, the Flotilla, that's a whole thing in itself, the U.S. government shutdown, and also we'll do an additional thing, which is whether we have Israel-Gaza peace happening today. So we're going to cover all these topics. There's not a lot of time to cover all these topics, so we're going to get going right now. I will start with the politics, and then I will go into the sporting of things. Number one, this week, we will start with that the U.S. government shutdown. God, we must be on day 4 or 5 at this point already. And this is the first time in my life that I've not seen so many people obsessed with the U.S. government shutting down. I've seen less people care than ever before. I think they understand that the money that is being asked to keep the government open from the left is so absurd, and the tactics that they're using is so absurd. So people agree that the Republicans have chosen not to negotiate on those terms to get funding for certain things like healthcare for illegal aliens and several other things that they've tried to put into the clean bill. Now, of course, Republicans put tons of things in the bill as well that we all know, but the fact is that there's over $1 trillion being asked from the Republican side to keep the government open. The Democrats are asking for the Republicans to fund about $1.2 trillion for certain things, healthcare being the biggest one, and the Republicans are simply not going to budge. This, I think, is going to be the end of Chuck Schumer. I believe in my heart of hearts, as my father used to say, crying Chuck Schumer. I believe that he will be finished with leading Congress after this. I don't believe that he will be able to. What? I'm not audible? Nothing is audible? Is that true? Can you guys tell me if you can hear me? Because that would be a really big problem. I can test it also. Hold on, please. Wow, that would be really crazy if I was just doing all this and nobody can hear. Test, 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 test. I hope it's audible. Let's see. Anybody want to tell me if it's audible? Anybody? Man, and I was right into... What's up, Boney Thugs? Is it audible? Is it not audible? Check, check. I mean, mic's working perfect. Everything's working perfect. Oh, now you can hear me, but less. Okay, that's strange, but I will pick it up even more. Let's see. Can you hear me now? Is that better? I'm going to post a hello. Yeah. That's strange. I see it live here and I'm audible. I think Boney Thugs, you got to turn up your hearing aid or your volume wherever you're watching. But nice to see you again. So back to this. I think crying Chuck Schumer, he will be finished as the leading Democrat for Congress. And after this, I think that this squarely falls on him. He's not able to control the far, far left and the left radicals. And he is going to be done and replaced after this. They will probably not allow him to lead for the party in Congress. That is my thought. That is just my opinion. Again, this is opinionated news. If anyone has anything that they want to discuss about that and they think that they know better, then I'm also more than happy to discuss. And please just text in the box. I have a multi-stream chat box on the right here. Please text me, say hi, give me opinions about any of this. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. So as the U.S. government shutdown continues, there are a lot of workers that are working without paychecks at this point. I don't know what the exact number is, but I'm sure it's in the hundreds of thousands or 100,000 or 200,000, whatever it is. I can look it up very fast. But people are working. I do believe it'll be resolved by opinion. I think it'll be resolved by Wednesday or Thursday. But it always comes to this for some reason. And again, I think the leaders of the House, both houses, both Senate, and for both parties, need to get their parties under control. So that's the U.S. government shutdown. Again, I think the biggest surprise and why I wanted to cover it was growing up, and also in the last, definitely from previous presidents, when the U.S. government shut down and workers were furloughed or not being paid, or however it happens, it was like insane news all the time. This is the first time that it's sort of like, all right, the U.S. government shut down, they'll work it out, which I'm very surprised. Now, either the world is just concentrated on too many other crazy things that are happening, or we sort of know that this is just a far left push for something absurd. I mean, I do have to say the Democratic Party has a approval rating of somewhere between 17 and 23% right now, historically very low. So I'm going to take a wild guess that whatever they're asking for is probably pretty ridiculous just based on those numbers, and we'll go with it from there. So that's the U.S. government shutdown. Now moving on. Again, I only do a 30-minute show here, so we're sort of halfway through already, and I haven't even got to everything. The Flotilla. We wanted to cover the Flotilla. So for like 30 days, 42 ships or something have sailed from all over the place to try to break the siege and get into Gaza to deliver aid, as they called it. Of course, this is headed by Greta Thunberg, who is, the crazy activist that is always, Greta Thunberg calls herself she's the Swedish climate activist, but yet she doesn't really do anything for climate change at all. Actually, quite the contrary. She throws a bunch of shit off her boats and, so polluting the water and whatnot. But outside of that, Greta has been a farce. She does everything for propaganda, and everyone has come to know this already. This is the second time she's joined the Flotilla, and she is, arrested, and then, as she claims, she's kidnapped. Meanwhile, they're giving her food and sending her back to her country, paying for her ticket. That's a very strange kidnapping, obviously. So that's very melodramatic, because she is melodramatic, because she loves to score social media points. And then the press covers it, and they're like, oh, Greta is leading this flotilla of 42 boats to Gaza. They're going to break the siege of the Israeli Navy. Okay, that's never going to happen, number one. And if any of them even made it to the shore of where Gaza is, in the middle of a war zone, an active war zone, I'm curious, how long will they last? Hour, 2 hours, 5 hours, 8 hours, 1 day before they are either killed, kidnapped, or, God forbid, something else insane. So it's an active war zone. This is all propaganda. Now, all the countries that are saying, release our people, please release our citizens, they're all being flown back. Turkish government flew an airliner. They picked up 142 people of multiple countries already. They're all being sent back. There's some 470 people or 471 people that were on the flotillas. None of them made it to shore, and none of them carried aid. It was all propaganda. It was all bullshit. Everyone understands that aid needs to get into the Palestinian people. This is not the way to do it. This is just a waste of resources. There could have been a million ways to do it. And even to prove that point, the Pope himself said he will be more than happy to take the aid from the flotillas that were carrying whatever aid they were carrying, and he would be happy to deliver it himself through various channels of the church. And they declined and said, no, we don't want you to do it. We want to deliver it, because they actually weren't delivering anything. And when all the boats were inspected, there was no aid. It was all bullshit, all propaganda. So please don't believe all this bullshit. So the flotilla, once again, was a big media, and nothing. Garbage. Once again, Greta Thunberg is exactly what she always is and sets out to be, is just a social media propaganda machine who fights for something but actually is never doing it herself. She's never helped change anything in climate. She has never helped bring aid anywhere. She might bring attention to herself, but that's actually not helping the cause by any means, because what is that actually doing? So some people say, oh, she's bringing awareness. Okay, so she's bringing awareness. Okay, but she's putting the attention and the spotlight on herself, which is actually selfish in this whole thing. So it's actually not creating any awareness towards actual issues. She was, many years ago when you first heard of Greta Thunberg, she was like speaking at the UN, and she was like, our governments have failed us. Yes, our governments have failed us. We understand. It's fucking dramatic. We get it. But just don't talk about it. Do something, okay? Do it. Okay, she can use her time a million other ways. Yes, your governments have failed you. Okay, so what? You know what? Poor you. We all have to live with government that we're not happy with in one way, shape, or form. That's life. Figure it out. Fix it. Or maybe go run for something in office. How come she doesn't run for some office where she can then help out? Not even at a low level. So she's just an activist, which it's fine. You can be an activist, but at least practice what you preach. I mean, she does nothing. Throws shit in the ocean, yet she's a climate warrior. Screams at people, gets arrested over and over and over again. She's been arrested in every European country. She's been arrested in Israel. She's been arrested everywhere. What is that doing? Nothing. It's just a waste of resources. So as we know, everything that she has set out to achieve has actually achieved nothing. So that is, for me, and the vote of Greta Thunberg is like this. 2 thumbs down, because she is, a waste of resources. Now, let's go on to, we only got 12 minutes left. This is going fast today. Now we're going to go on to a deadline that is looming, which is the Israel-Gaza deadline. President Trump has set out for 6 p.m. Washington time today, Sunday, July 5th. Oh, sorry, July 5th. What the fuck month is it? October 5th. It's October 5th. It's not July. Mark your calendars. October 5th. There at 6 p.m. today, Washington time, there is a deadline for Hamas to accept the terms of the 21-point plan set out by Trump. Then it was agreed to by Israel, and it was agreed to by virtually every Arab country who signed off on it. I will take you through really quickly sort of what that is, how it works, and why it's important. He has set a timeline from 6 p.m. today that the live hostages need to be released, and the bodies of the dead hostages inside of Gaza over the 72 hours that follow need to be released. Now, the major point of all of this is that all of the Arab countries have signed, all of the moderate Arab countries that are relevant have signed off on it, and have supported this as well, because they sort of have come to terms with multiple things. Number one, Hamas is not winning anything. That's just a farce. Also, the destruction that is going on in the Gaza Strip is so, the magnitude is so great that there's no point to keep dragging this on. It can go on and on and on and on, like you see in Russia and Ukraine, but there's no point to keep dragging it on. It can come to a close. It can be finished, and we can be done with this. Release the hostages. We're hoping that tonight that is signed off on, and tomorrow morning we start to see this. Now, of course, Hamas has just announced that in Cairo on Monday, there's going to be a meeting, which is with Steve Witkoff, a representative of Hamas, Qatar, Egypt, and a few other key players that will sit at the table in this, and they will have another discussion. I do not believe that Trump will take that at all. He will expect the live hostages to be released, or he will renege on whatever the proposal is that is there and that is on the table, because they have made a mockery of it many times, and this is the end. He has basically said that if it is not finalized now, that Israel will have a green light to do whatever they want and to take over the Strip. So my thoughts on why I think that Qatar signed off on this is that when Israel bombed in the center of Doha last month, I think that it was a massive wake-up call for Qatar, that they thought they were untouchable, under the protection of our other Arab countries and under the U.S. as an ally. I think they realized that that is not at all. They are very much able to be turned into another war zone, and they do not want that, because the Qatari government would really, really like to portray themselves as becoming more moderate, tourism, building Doha up. And I think that, hi, my mother's on here. I love when my mother's on here. Maybe she just hops on here, sends a heart, and then hops off. I don't know if she actually listens to the whole thing, but I love you, Mom. So what I think happened is that I believe that the Qatari government first off said, holy shit, we are much more vulnerable than we thought we were. We never imagined that Israel would bomb the center of Doha, and that totally shocked them. And they asked for protection and a security guarantee from the United States, which that we know. They asked for that because, God forbid, they do not want that happening again, because that totally wipes out everything that they are aiming to achieve, which is to be a moderate type of society that is welcoming to tourism and investment and building and becoming another hub like Dubai. So that can't happen if they have played both sides of the fence, and then all of a sudden they are bombed, and now they basically are no different than some of these other countries, which are going through this continuously because they play both sides of the fence. So Qatar has played both sides for long enough. They asked for security guarantees from the United States, and that in turn, when Trump decided that he would do that, I believe that he then was the leverage that he had is that he was able to tell the Qatari government that if we are going to give you security guarantees and make sure that Israel does not do something to you again, your guarantee has to be that you assist in ending the war, because they hold all the cards with Hamas. Everybody knows that. And this is probably the only way that Trump would give them the security guarantees. And that's in the 21-point plan, which you can go read. I won't read that out here because we don't have enough time for that. Hello, Olivia from India. And so I think that was a super power play by Trump. I think it was amazing. I think you'll come to learn a little bit later that all of this was very, very much premeditated, from the strike in Doha to then what cards are put on the table by the president and by Netanyahu, and the long game. Trump and Netanyahu are really good at understanding the long game. It is, unfortunately, I don't like to call it like a game of chess, but it is a game of chess, with the human liability, which is terrible. But you need to know who your enemies are and who your allies are. And as they say, keep your enemies closer. And I believe that is what is going on with Qatar. They will sign that security guarantee. Qatar will put enough pressure on Hamas. Now comes this. Does Hamas listen to Qatar? You're going to find that out basically by Sunday night, Monday morning. Whether they really, really control what is going on the ground in Gaza, you will find out right now. This is the end all. There's no more deals on the table. I don't believe there'll be another deal. This will be the last deal. Either Qatar has control of it or they don't. You're going to see right now. Because if they do not have control of Hamas, then there is no need for the U.S. to give the Qataris a security guarantee. Trump will renege it. I'm sure of it. So he doesn't look stupid. And then Israel will do whatever it needs to do. So that's where we at. We and lots of people that I know and people that I love and family and friends, we have sort of this constant anxiety, but we're also built that way. It's like it's a cultural thing with us. We have this constant anxiety of what is going on in the region. And every day we sort of hate to wake up to what's happening and what's the news and this. We take it personally. It's a connect that we have, and it is, even though it might sound strange and maybe we should be more disconnected. I don't know. It's how we're wired and how we're built. We are just anxious about it, and every single step of the way, we hope that this war will end. And we're very mentally in tune to it, which causes us even more anxiety because, we just get anxiety over everything. That's just how we're built. Everything gives us anxiety. So that is up, and we will talk about it more hopefully tomorrow, day after, and hopefully as we all are praying that this comes to an end and there is no more strange, bullshit stalling on Hamas's side and Qatar's side and anything. I don't think Trump will allow that to happen. I think this is the end all, be all of it. I personally do believe in my heart of hearts that we will see the release of the hostages. I personally do believe that. I know that is a huge statement and a huge, putting it out there, and I just really do believe it. I believe the end is near. We've been living with it for 2 years, of course, and they can say the Ukraine war, you've been living for 3 years. Every war comes to an end. Every single war comes to an end at some point. And we feel that it's going on and going on and going on. Every war felt the same way, I'm sure, for whatever generation was living through it. And these are hours that we live through. Every war comes to an end, and I believe that we are seeing the close of this. I really do. I won't even get into Ukraine and Russia. That is a whole nother type of conversation. And no, I do not believe we're seeing the end of that in the next sort of immediate future. Now, I only have a few minutes left. There was some pretty heavy topics. And I want to thank everyone. Sunday, like I said, is sort of my favorite time to do a show because I have nothing else happening. I'm with my lovely family, and I have no work. I don't record in the studio on Sundays generally. And I can just kind of do this for 30 minutes, and it's a therapy for me. It's not a podcast because it's live. You can comment, you can talk in, I'll answer, whatever you want to do. It's just a live show. You can check it out in multiple places. It's on X Live. It's on Facebook Live. We repost it on YouTube for you to watch. It's on Kick Live right now. You can re-listen to it on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, iHeartRadio. You can re-listen to it anywhere you want. If you're into it, you can send me, you can DM me questions, you can talk, if you're somebody that's interesting and you want to be a guest, hop on live. Why not? If you have some interesting views, I love a good challenging guest of their political views. Why not, right? Now, last two things, which are not political, are two things that I wanted to talk about, which I don't generally get into sports at all because I'm not a sports person. I actually don't really like sports. I don't watch sports. I will first start with the Asia Cup drama with the cup that was, or trophy, or whatever you guys call it, which was taken away when the Pakistani minister ran away with it. Now, everybody is, I'm going to type this in because I don't want to get the names wrong because everybody will be like, totally like flabbergasted that I ran away with it. I mean, that I, said the names wrong. So this Mohsin Naqvi, who is a Pakistani minister who ran away with the cup, and everybody's totally freaking out over it while the India team was waiting. And then there was a lot of tweets that went on back and forth from PM Modi and, of course, the ministers in Pakistan. And now you have politics involved in sports and in the Asia Cup. All I will say, I don't watch it. Again, I don't like sports. It's not my thing. But I will say this, that once you get into, you want me to say your name? Hi, Olivia. Once you get into politics and sports, it just sort of takes the fun out of the sports. And it's a big turnoff. Sports, just like music and anything of the arts and entertainment, is supposed to be a getaway from politics. That is sort of the whole point of it, like to not mix. That's why people don't like when they go to a live concert and then all of a sudden, like I have political views, but I don't talk about it on stage because who the fuck wants to hear that? When you go to a live concert, you don't want to hear people talking about their political views because half the audience is not going to agree with you. So why do you talk that shit? So now we're talking about it in sports, and It's the same thing. People go there to enjoy a match. They go to enjoy a game. They want to see, let's say India is doing amazing. They don't want to hear all of a sudden and see a bunch of memes being posted by ministers and then the PM commenting on it and then cross talking about, the Pakistani-Indian war skirmish that happened. We don't want to get into that. Why get into that during a sporting event? Just let people enjoy sports and politics, music politics, entertainment politics. They don't go together. Leave one on the side. Again, nobody wants to hear anybody preach while they're watching a game. So that's going to bring me to one really, really, really last topic. Here we go. This is about pickleball, the obsession of pickleball. Now, I know that this is a late talk and late topic that I'm talking about pickleball, but I'll tell you why I'm talking about it right now. I know many people that are obsessed with it and people that love it. My brother loves pickleball. Half the people in my building love pickleball. My building has a pickleball court inside. People voted to make sure they had a pickleball court. I use it for basketball and I use it for other things, but people use it for pickleball. Now, I was asked in a weird roundabout way to join a pickleball team. I was at a arcade with my lovely children, and the father said, "Hey, we're looking for one person. We're short one person for pickleball. Will you come play?" Sonny decided to chime right in and say, "Hey, why don't you sign up?" And I was like, oh my God, I don't like pickleball. I play sports with my children, which I love to do, but I just don't find interest in going out and playing adult sports. I don't know why. So then I turned to this father and I said, okay, I will join. Sure, it's one time, it was this morning, let me go play. Why not? They need one more person for the team. So then he's like, are you athletic? I said, I'm athletic. I go to the gym every day. I've played pickleball 3-4 times in my life, maybe. I know the basic rules, but I'm athletic, so I'll be fine. How athletic could all of them be, right? So I was asked this 2 weeks ago. I said I will not be free for practice, and I will just see you all on the court, which the match was supposed to be this morning. 2 days later, I get a text. There is a practice at 7 o'clock at night or 8 o'clock at night until 10 p.m. Please come. I said, no, I'm not free. Next day, another text. Next day, another text. Then I'm joined on some WhatsApp group with all the pickleball players. Then they're figuring out their jersey and their logo and they're asking for feedback. Then they're classifying people as who's good, who's medium, who's beginner, all this crazy shit. So I started to say, okay, this is much more than I wanted to get into. I didn't want to get into all this. I was just filling a spot on the team, and that's where I was leaving it. Then I get personal messages from people saying, listen, we need to see how you are at practice because we don't know if you're good or you're not good, and we need to strategize and we need to see how you are, so please come. So I said, I'm not free. This day I'm busy with work. This day I'm in the studio. This day I have a lot of projects going on, a lot of businesses. And on my free time, I love to be with my children. And that's all it is, my wife and my children, and that's it. So now they're getting upset. Oh, you should please come to a practice. This isn't going to work out for us. You need to come to a practice. I said, look, I can't come to a practice. Now, I have the group muted. I unmute it, and there's 90 messages from the group about practice and strategies and all kinds of shit. And then someone posts this YouTube link of the rules for beginners for pickleball. Now I'm going to end the show with this, okay? Because I'm already 5 minutes over than I like to be. I'm not obsessed with pickleball. I get it that people are obsessed with pickleball. I understand. People love it. It's cool. You can love something. I love lots of shit. But relax. It's pickleball. Relax. You're not competing in the Olympics. You're not competing for some grand cash prize. It's just a bunch of adult friends playing a match. Chill out. That's all. If you do it because you love it, that's totally cool. If you're applying all kinds of pressure on people, relax, okay? It's not that crazy. So I'm leaving you all here. The pickleball obsession everywhere is just totally obsessive. That's all. I'm leaving it there. It's not for me. Get over it. Whatever. Sorry I didn't make it. Oh, and I'll just leave it at this. They asked me not to come to the match, which was this morning, because they couldn't evaluate my skills because I didn't show up to the multiple practices. So I was kicked off from the pickleball team the night before because I didn't practice enough. I'm going to leave that right there. So think about that for 1 minute. And don't worry, I wasn't butthurt. I'm totally fine with it. Whatever it is, it is. Now, make sure you, first off, thank you so much for joining. I love to watch all the people that are rewatching these. I don't get a lot of people on the live, but I get, because people are busy with their lives, and who the fuck wants to sit and be live with me on a Sunday afternoon. But all the rewatches are amazing. Thousands of people on each platform I've been watching, and I find it amazing because I do this because it's like a therapy for me. And thank you for listening and rewatching and sharing. It's so cool. Again, you can catch it on X at Daniel Weber 99, Facebook, Daniel Weber Official. On YouTube, we re-put every episode on the channel in Daniel We Trust. It's on Kick Live, the Daniel Weber. And again, you can listen to just the audio on Amazon, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Fuck, it's becoming like a regular, proper show now. Look at all these places you can listen to it. So check you out next time. And I love you all. And I love you, Mom. And I will see you all soon. Have a wonderful Sunday. Again, it is a big Sunday today. Lots of stuff going to be happening this evening. So stay tuned, watch the news, or don't watch the news, whatever you choose to do.